Listen carefully. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a standard problem. Your results match your standards perfectly, exactly. If your body is average, your standards are average. If your income is stuck, your standards are capped. If your progress is slow, your standards are soft. Standards determine output. Output determines identity. Identity determines trajectory. You are not stuck. You are calibrated too low. Right now, your expectations of yourself are comfortable. You expect to show up. You expect to try. You expect to do your best. That language is weak. Do your best changes daily. Standards do not change daily. Standards are fixed numbers, fixed behaviors, fixed expectations. Your standard must be specific. If your training standard is, I will work hard today, that is vague. If your standard is, I increase load, I increase volume, that is measurable standard. If your standard is, I complete every session regardless of mood, that is fixed. Right now, you operate on emotional standards. You feel good, you push. You feel tired, you reduce. You feel inspired, you increase. You feel bored, you shrink. That is not a standard. That is instability. Instability produces inconsistent growth. Inconsistent growth leads to average identity. Average identity produces average life. You do not need more inspiration. You need higher non-negotiable standards. Standards remove doubts. Doubts drain energy. Energy lost reduces intensity. Reduced intensity lowers your results. Lower results reinforce low standards. It becomes a cycle. Your current life is a reflection of your minimum tolerance. What do you tolerate? You tolerate slight laziness. You tolerate minor delays. You tolerate missed reps. You tolerate shortcuts. You tolerate excuses. You tolerate almost. Almost never wins. Almost never builds dominance. If your standard allows almost, you remain almost successful, almost strong, almost disciplined, almost ahead. You are living at the level of what you accept. If you accept average, average becomes permanent. You must redefine acceptable. Acceptable must become extreme, not emotionally extreme, structurally extreme. If your standard for training is 3 sessions per week, raise it to 4 sessions. If your standard for focus is 1 hour, raise your focus to 2 hours. If your standard for output is 1 improvement per month, raise your improvement weekly. Standards stretch capability. Capability expands identity. Identity shifts behavior. Behavior compounds results. Right now, your standards protect comfort. You protect rest too early. You protect convenience. You protect ego. You protect your energy. High performers protect standards. If the standard says 5 sets, 5 sets are done. If the standard says deep focus is maintained. If the standard says improvement is mandatory. Mandatory standards eliminate softness. Softness leaks potential. Potential wasted builds frustration. Frustration builds resentment. Resentment weakens mindset. You think you need motivation to move forward? No, you need strict expectations. Strict expectations create urgency. Urgency sharpens action. Action builds confidence. Confidence reinforces higher standards. The reason your growth plateaus is simple. Your standards stop rising. You increase effort temporarily, then you relax. You reach a milestone, then you stabilize. Stabilizing too long becomes stagnation. Stagnation becomes decline. You think holding your level is enough? It is not, because the world does not hold The world advances. If you hold, you fall behind. Raise standards faster than the environment moves. That is leverage. If your standard for yourself is higher, you dominate the environment. If your standards is equal to environment, you blend with the environment. Blending results in invisibility. Invisibility results in missed opportunity. Opportunity favors those who exceed baseline. Exceeding baseline requires uncomfortable standards. If your standard for punctuality is on time, change it to early. If your standard for quality is acceptable, change it to exceptional. If your standard for effort is hard, change it to harder than last week. Last week cannot be your benchmark. Last month can be. You measure against potential, not history. Right now, you measure against comfort. Comfort keeps you safe. Capability stretches you. Stretching builds capacity. Capacity builds dominance. Dominance builds freedom. Now look at your day honestly. Where are your standards low? Sleep schedule, nutrition, training, learning, focus. You are casual where you should be rigid. Rigid standards creates ultimate performance. If the foundation is strict, execution becomes automatic. Right now, you think too much about whether to act. If the standard is fixed, action is automatic. Automatic action reduces hesitation. Reduced hesitation increases speed. Speed increases advantage. Advantage increases confidence. Confidence reinforces higher standards. This is compounding upward, but it begins with one decision. Raise the floor. Raise the output. If your effort is elite, your average performance rises naturally. If your minimum focus is deep, your results accelerate. If your minimum discipline is strict, your identity strengthens. Identity built on high standards becomes unshakable. Right now, your identity is flexible. Flexible identity bends under pressure. Rigid standards create stable identity. Stable identity creates calm dominance. You don't need to shout. You need to elevate expectation. When you walk into a session, ask, what is unacceptable today? What do I feel like doing? If you remove unacceptable behaviors, quality rises. Progress accelerates. The reason others move faster is simple. Their standards are harsh. You do not allow small weakness. You do not allow lazy transitions. You do not allow missed details. You tighten constantly. You do not relax. Relaxation without growth is decline. You must become intolerant to mediocrity. Do not tolerate laziness. Intolerance builds edge. Edge builds leverage. Leverage builds control. Control builds power. Your life does not change when you want more. Your life changes when you require more. Requirement is stronger than desire. Desire is emotional. Requirement is structural. If you require 2 hours of deep work daily, it will happen. If you require training no matter what, then you train. Raise your standards. Raise your power. Raise your standard immediately. Shock your system with a new standard. Force adaptation. Adaptation builds growth. Growth builds advantage. Advantage builds dominance. And dominance builds the life you want. Imagine this version of you. You wake up on schedule. You train with escalation. You work with defined output. You push through fatigue. Demand constant improvement. Correct inefficiencies immediately. And then you become powerful. You become talented. This is enforcement. Enforcement creates consistency. Consistency creates reliability. Reliability creates trust. Trust creates opportunity. Opportunity creates advantage. If your standards rise, your performance rises. If your standards upgrade, your level upgrades. No one is stopping you. There is no invisible barrier. Raise your standards. Prove your results. Raise your power. Raise your results. Raise your standards.